Hey guys, Yokurama here, and I'm here to do my review of episode 1 of Yu Yu Hakusho. As you guys could probably tell, you guys saw that my last video was Yu Yu Hakusho 20th year anniversary special, and this whole month of December is the 20th year anniversary for one of the greatest series, the best series in my personal opinion of all time. So I just thought to myself that damn, one video for this great occasion is not enough. I gotta do another video. So I sat there and I'm like, oh, what should I do? And I thought of many ideas, but this is the idea that I decided to go with, because the first episode of Yu Yu Hakusho just means so much to me, and in my opinion, I think it's the best opening to any series ever, because even the first 2 minutes of the series draws you in and makes you sit there and be like, oh man, I want to know what happens next. So yeah, I'm gonna break down the series. I hope I don't go into such detail that I will start boring you, but I just gotta make another video about Yu Yu Hakusho because this series has done a lot for me. But yeah, the series starts off with the main character Yusuke Urameshi getting hit by a car, and then he pretty much wakes up and he's a ghost, and he sees his body laying there. A bunch of meds come to pick him up, and stuff like that, and then they drive off, and Yusuke's like, oh man, so I guess I'm dead, because he tried to punch one of them, and his body went through their body because he's a ghost. And he starts to think back what happened that day, and it starts off with remembering how Keiko went up on the roof because Yusuke was skipping class, and she started yelling at him and stuff that he's skipping class, that he's not wearing the school color because the school color is blue, but he wears green. And this is cool. We already see that because after Keiko leaves, her friends are like, oh, how are you with Yusuke? He's a scary guy. He's a bad guy. He has 1,000 guys, and that he kills for fun. And Keiko's like, no, he's actually a really good kid if you know him, So you can already see that how much Keiko cares for him. Even the people that see him as, like, her friends that see him as such a bad guy, she doesn't really care what they think, So next we move on to see how powerful Yusuke is, and how crazy, how big of an assholes the teachers are in this school. Because these kids, one of these kids were about to get his ass kicked, I guess, and he said that he's Urameshi's cousin, and that kid gave him his wallet and ran away. So you can see that Yusuke is very feared among the students, and among the city, actually. And right when that happens, Yusuke shows up behind, because they were talking to each other, and Yusuke was about to like kick their ass, and one of the teachers shows up, and he's like, oh, so Yusuke was trying to steal your wallet, and Yusuke just acts like a badass and walks away, so Yusuke doesn't give a shit about authority at all. Then Yusuke's like walks out of school. He's like, finally, the day I decide to go to school, everybody starts bashing me, starts yelling at me, trying to tell me what to do. And right before he was leaving, Mr. Takanaka, the principal of the school, catches him, and because Mr. Takanaka was actually calling for him the whole time, the whole time he was in school. And Yusuke slips away and just runs off. Then we move on to see how Yusuke, the way Yusuke lives, because his mother is like a drunk. She's sitting there smoking, laying there in bed, watching TV, and she's like, oh, Yusuke, go buy me a pack, a 6-pack. And Yusuke just leaves, and then we see the meeting between Kuwabara and Yusuke. Well, they already know each other, but we see it for the first time, and Kuwabara stands no chance to Yusuke. Yusuke kicks his ass 100-0, and Kuwabara, you can see that he'll never give up, because he's like, oh, I almost had him that time, even though he's laying there all beat up and stuff. Then we move on. It's pretty much almost halfway through the episode. We move on to this little boy, playing in the streets, walking around with a soccer ball, and Yusuke stops him. He's like, hey, don't play out in the streets, it's dangerous. And this is one of my favorite parts. Yusuke starts doing these weird faces and stuff like that, and it's so funny. He does this like jumping around thing, like with in his nose. I don't know. You guys know. You've probably seen it. He gives him the ball back and is like, oh, don't play in the streets. And Yusuke walks off. Then he turns around and sees the kid walking, and he kicks the ball and he flies in the street. And a car starts driving by, and Yusuke runs up and pushes him out of the way and gets hit by the car. And halfway through the episode, we pretty much are back where we started. then that's halfway through the episode. Then we see that Botan, the Grim Reaper, the blue-haired, pink-robed, chick on a stick Grim Reaper, shows up, and she tells him that he's dead and stuff like that, and she says Yusuke asks if he could go see the kid. Actually, she says, "Oh, you want to see the kid?" And Yusuke, "Yeah." So they go see the kid. The kid's all right. He just has a couple scrapes and stuff like that. And what's funny is that Botan is like, "Well, I wasn't gonna tell you this, but if you didn't jump in to save the kid, he would actually end up with one less scrape. So your death was totally a waste." Yusuke's like, "What?" So it's pretty funny. And the thing is, because he actually gonna get another chance to get his life back, because they weren't expecting him to do something like that, never in a million years, and they don't have a place for Yusuke yet. So she's like, "Oh, so there's an ordeal that you can do to get your life back." And she's like, "Well, think about it." And Yusuke's like, "I already thought about it. I don't want my life back. I want to be a ghost, you know," because he thinks that nobody really cares that if he survives or not. Then pretty much, what the rest of the episode is Yusuke seeing how much people actually care for him. He sees his mother sitting there, you know, all like spaced out, totally like sad and stuff. The students from his class are there, but they don't really care. But Keiko's crying like crazy. Then we see Kuwabara showing up, like, you know, saying that, like, "Oh, I need you, you know, who am I gonna fight?" You know, because Kuwabara is like really close, I guess, to him, because, you know, they've been fighting for so long. Then we see actually wait, we see something cool. This is one of my favorite parts of the episode. Those teachers are like standing there, "Oh, man, it's good that he died, you know," and like stuff like that. "Oh, he probably tried to push the kid, you know, tried to steal his lunch money," you know. Those teachers are talking, and Mr. Takanaka shows up, and he's like, "Oh, I don't know, you know, what's more disgraceful, you know, Kuwabara running and yelling like crazy, or you teachers, you know, talking such bad things." And, you know, he walks in and starts, you know, saying, "Yusuke, why'd you have to leave? You could have been such a good person." Then we see his mother crying. Then we see the little boy show up with his mother. A lot of sad things. The little boy's like, "Oh, can I go play with the kid?" And his mother's like, "No, you can't," you know. So the end of the episode is Yusuke finally deciding to take the ordeal to come back to life, and they fly off to Spirit World. And that is the end of the episode. Personally, best opening to any series ever, period, personally. And I kind of bet that a lot of you would agree. I know that some of you would agree, at least. Because, come on, how can you not tell me that after watching that episode that you don't want to see more? This is a masterpiece. Just this episode alone is a masterpiece. The series itself is a masterpiece. Yoshiro Tagashi, thank you so much for creating this series. This series is amazing. I cannot stress how much I love this series, and I cannot stress how much you need to watch it if you haven't. I kind of doubt that a lot of you haven't seen it, but yeah, I bet there's a lot of you that haven't seen it. But if you haven't seen this series, and you're sitting there, you're watching One Piece, you're watching Bleach, Naruto, and stuff like that, like even DBZ. This is like my friend Foreverworld said, this is a mature version of DBZ. So, I'm telling you, watch this series, Yu Yu Hakusho. It is a classic among classics, because this series doesn't get old. It's 112 episodes, absolutely no filler, and this episode, the first episode, will draw you in completely. This episode gets 10 out of 10, perfect score, masterpiece, best opening ever, and I think that's where I'll end my review. So thank you guys for watching. I just needed to do another video about Yu Yu Hakusho because this series just means a lot to me. So yeah, guys, leave some comments below what you guys thought of this episode and what you guys thought of any other episodes. If you want, you can even leave a video response doing a review of any other episode or whatever. And I'd really like to see more recognition for this amazing series, because I only know a couple of people that actually did a video for the 20th year anniversary for the series, and this series is just so amazing that we need to, you know, talk about it. You know, we talk about One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, DBZ, but we never talk about Yu Yu Hakusho. And this, a lot of people agree that it's awesome, but nobody really talks about it. So make a video response if you like. I really would like to see it. If you make a video response, I'll definitely watch it, and I'll comment, and I'll favorite it. Just you know, we need to spread the word of Yu Yu Hakusho because this is an amazing series. Okay, enough of my fanboyism. Yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later with some other videos. I got a lot of videos planned for next year. I will probably release a couple more before the end of this year, but yeah. So 2011 will be great. So, peace.